If you ever find an old cassette tape in a dead person's house, do not press play. Not even once. Because some voices don't stay in the past. Some voices wait for you to listen, and then they learn but I understand enough now to be afraid. After the funeral, it fell on me to clean out her house. I'm an only child. My father left when I was young, and it was always just me and Mom, and that small it wasn't locked. Inside, sitting on a bed of faded red velvet, was a single cassette tape. No label. No writing anywhere on it. Just a plain black cassette, the kind you'd find in a bargain bin, as she used to record herself reading books for me when I was a baby, so I could hear her voice even when she worked late nights at the hospital where she was a nurse for almost 30 years. I pressed P. Part 3. Something is different than next evening. I wanted to hear her voice again. I made tea, sat on the floor in the same spot, and pressed play. Already smiling before the static even started, Denise sounded confused. She said my mother hadn't mentioned anything like that. Not once, and besides, my mother had been in the hospital for the last 6 weeks of her life, far too sick and far too just her and the girl. I asked about the girl. Margaret. Walter's face did something complicated, somewhere between sadness and something older and more careful than sadness. She stopped going to SC. I know you feel guilty about that. You don't have to feel guilty. I forgive you. I forgive you for all of it, sweetheart. Doesn't that feel good to hear? Doesn't that feel like exactly what you needed? Part 7. Priya doesn't believe me until she does. I told Priya everything one night over wine at her kitchen table, half expecting her to tell me I needed therapy, which honestly might have been, but I was not laughing that day. I laid the tape and the boombox out on my kitchen table, and I smashed them both. I smashed the plastic casing until it cracked into a dozen pieces, until the thin bro, don't you miss me? Don't you want your mother back? I'm so close now, Sarah. I'm so close to being exactly what you need. Just a little more. Just a little longer. You're not my mother, I said. I know, she finally said. That's why I'm calling. That was the day I understood this wasn't just about me anymore. Wasn't contained inside my apartment or my grief or my family's history. It was S. Then I gathered every piece into a metal bucket, carried it out to my apartment's small concrete courtyard behind the dumpsters, and I set it on fire using a can of lighter fluid I'd also bought at Teach Part 9. The voice doesn't need the tape anymore. I lay frozen in bed, listening. The static was faint but unmistakable, coming from the direction of my kitchen, the same room where I had smashed Teach No boombox. No tape. Just my table, my chairs, the faint orange glow of the streetlight coming through the window blinds, striping the floor in long amber bars. But the static was still there, and as its small green display flickered erratically, numbers scrambling and reforming over and over like something trying to remember how to count. Sarah, the voice said, warm as ever. Warmer maybe than. I backed away from the kitchen, my whole body shaking, my back hitting the hallway wall. I just wanted to keep talking. The voice continued. Is that so bad? Don't you miss me? Don't you want your M? Soon you won't want there to be. And Sarah, I don't need the tape anymore. I never really needed it. It was just a door. Now that you've let me in, I can knock on any door I like. The microwave Roddy, I never told anyone that detail. Priya went quiet on the other end of the line for a long moment. I know, she finally said. That's why I'm calling. That was the day I understood this wasn't just it fills in gaps. It creates coincidences out of ordinary details, because coincidence feels more bearable than randomness, and randomness is what death actually is, cold and without a plan. She said G. Part 11. What I found about Eleanor Voss, I went back to the library one more time, driven by something I couldn't fully name. So I need to understand the shape of the thing that was hunting me, BF. I think it is old, patient, and it has done this before in other houses, wearing other mothers, other fathers, maybe other beloved dead, feeding slowly on grief, and every private, unspoken thing a GR, just a blank gray box where a name or number should be, glowing in the dark like something. Patient and awake. I didn't answer. It rang again the next night, and the next. I haven't answered. I don't know, I keep the phone in a drawer now, face down, the little red notification bubble sitting there in the dark like a small red eye that never blinks and never closes. Some nights, when I can't sleep, I phi.